Hello, I hope that you are doing great. In the previous video, what we have done is basically to create a form, to validate a form, and we have introduced a secret key. In this video, what we are going to do is to create these forms with HTML files in such a way that we can disclose that information in the web page. Okay, let's move on. Basically, what we have done before is to create this form. We have been in the roots and we have validated this, and now what we are going to do is have to go to the templates folder, go to the register HTML, you open that folder, and now we are here, and this is the boilerplate. And now what we are going to do is to introduce some code here to introduce the form. The first thing that we are going to do is to introduce a form with a method that is going to be post. This will allows the user the possibility to introduce information here, and this is going to be an action and is going to be an empty field. This is the first thing that we have to do. And inside this form, basically what we are going to do is the next thing that we have to do is to protect this form, and this is form hidden tag, and this is basically related to the secret key that we have created, and this is basically to protect our form for external attacks. Then we need to introduce a field set with a class, a bootstrap that is called form group. And inside this field set we are going to create different boxes, and the first thing that we have to introduce is a legend that is going to be a class, a bootstrap of border, bottom, and before, and it's going to be a join today. This is the first thing that we have to do, and then now inside this we are going to create different fields, and we are going to create a class, a div with a class of form group, and then basically here we are going to, the first thing that we are going to provide is the label that we have created before, is form user name label, and this is going to be a class of form control label. And the next thing that we have to do is allow the user the possibility to interact with the form, and this is going to be username, and this is going to be a class equal to form control LG. Okay, this is the first set of information is about the username, and basically we have to repeat this for the other fields, and basically we copy this, control copy, and now we go here, control V, and instead of username I keep the alt selected, and here basically instead of user I want to introduce email. I do exactly the same, I go below, and instead of username I select this with the alt press it, and then instead of username I'm going to introduce here password, and finally I do the same, control copy for control V, I go here to password, select it. I select this as well, and this is going to be confirm password. Okay, and that's all for the field set. And basically now below the field set, what we have to introduce is the submit button, and this is going to be a class of form group, and then inside this we are going to introduce the form submit that is going to have a class btn outline info. Okay, and we save this information. And now outside the form, basically what we want to allow the user, if the user have already an account, this user can go directly to the login form. And this is going to be basically a class of border top with pt3. And inside this, basically we are going to create a small, and here is going to be already have an account, and basically we, in that case, we redirect the user to the login route. It's going to be an ML5, and here basically what we are going to do is to redirect the user to the URL for, and here basically is going to be users. We go to that package and we go to the function login, and here basically we close this by introducing sign in, and that's all. We save this, and now if I go to the terminal, I type python application.py, and now if I type here, if I go now to the browser, this is our web page. Now if I click register, form is not defined, is undefined. Okay, this is maybe is because I don't have this form. I have to check in my roots. We didn't introduce this in the form. This is very nice that I make this mistake, because basically what is telling the computer is that we didn't provide this information. Then we have to provide this information here, and now it's all work. I go here again, I refresh it. Now we have the form. And now basically here what we can introduce is our credentials, the credentials that we want. And when we click here sign up, we are redirected to the home page. Okay, this is something very, very useful. Basically what we have done in this video is that we have connected the form that we have created with the HTML, and now we have provided a very nice registration form. The thing is that when we kind of submit this information, we didn't provide any message to the user, just to provide, okay, the information that you have done is correct, and then you have created an account, or also some error mistakes, because you can introduce some credentials that are not correct, and then we want to disclose that information to the user. And this is what we are going to do in the next video. In the next video, what we are going to do is that when you create a form properly, you are going to have a message, and if you introduce some mistakes when you are complementing your form, you also going to have some error message, and this is what we are going to do in the next video.